Oh, I don't know what to do. I feel creative right now, but I'm just not sure what I should do. What if? Hi everyone, it's Ann here from AnnMakes. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video is about DIY prompt cards. That's right, do-it-yourself prompt cards. What is this? This is a box of inspiration. Here inside of here I have the cards I created that I can refer to on days that I just need a little help in boosting my creative mojo, or I know I want to do a particular craft or art project, but I just need maybe an idea for a subject or a color or something like that. So that is the idea behind these DIY prompt cards. They are cards to inspire, cards to refer to give me ideas or suggestions as to what I can be doing. So these are repurposed business cards. My business cards, I had a couple boxes of business cards that the information on them was outdated, and I've had new business cards, but I always had these in the back somewhere thinking, oh, maybe there's something I could do with them one day. And well, here's what I found I can do with these old business cards that were outdated. So I have this box here. It's Vistaprint, and I'm just putting the cards back in the box once they are finished. Now, these started off as, so this is my new business card. As you can see, I did change the shape of it a little bit. It has rounded corners instead of straight corners, and you're going to see in the video what this looked like before. I don't have one around. I don't know if I have any left of my old cards. I think I might have covered all of them up. But anyway, the idea is that I repurposed business cards that were outdated to make these prompt cards. And in the video that you're about to see, you can see the steps I took to turn my ordinary little business cards into these fun prompt cards, and they are thick. So check out the video to see how I made these. The supplies one needs to make these cards are basically a base, such as old business cards, maybe some playing cards, or just some pieces of chipboard, cardboard, or even cardstock, or whatever paper you have. Then to cover the cards, I chose to collage mine with scraps of Christmas wrapping paper. This is all scraps left from, well, scraps that I created. I tore pieces of paper left over from used gift wrap from Christmas presents this year. These are my old business cards that I'm showing you. And all I did was take a card, use some glue from a glue stick, and some scraps of gift wrap. And I just proceeded to collage haphazardly, making sure I covered the entire card with these little scraps of paper. I didn't want it to be recognizable as Christmas gift wrap. I was really just going for color and interest, and so I have all these little scraps that might not look like much when they're all chopped up, but hopefully once they're all collected and collaged together and I've added some other elements, they will be relatively pleasing. As this is a process that I repeat over and over again, I am fast forwarding this part, basically taking scraps of paper, gluing them down to the business cards, and repeating the process until I get tired of covering my business cards. And I'm only doing one side this way because I prepare the other sides in a different manner, which you will see later on in this video. The next step is to trim up the sides of the cards just to cut off the excess scraps there. I'm just tidying up the edges of the card. I'm just using a pair of scissors and cutting each card to give them nice edges. And I do this over 250 times actually. Having a cat helping you in the process of making DIY prop cards is totally optional, by the way. I just want you to know that. Okay, so here I'm showing off the cards after I've collaged one side of the cards and trimmed them. The next step, I do not have the footage to show you, unfortunately. What I did is I just used a rubber stamp and some black ink to add some details to the cards. And now we're proceeding to cover the other side of each card. And the way I did it is that I chose to cover each back side of the card with one solid piece of paper. And I used a variety of scraps of paper that I had in my stash. I used everything from printed scrapbook paper to solid colored construction paper, newsprint, receipts, handwritten papers, tissue papers, packaging paper, other gift wraps, papers that I just paint on, and it's just a variety. It's just there are no limits to what can be used in the making of these cards. And I think that by using all these various types of papers as backgrounds will just inspire me when I look at these cards in the future. After all that gluing of all those little pieces of paper to the cards, there's a lot of trimming and just, cleaning up the edges of the cards, followed by the adding of the prompts. So the prompts I use on the cards come from things that I was inspired by other YouTubers, things I read, and my own ideas. And the fact that I wanted to use supplies I had not used in a long time, and that's in my own stash. So I typed the prompts that I drew inspiration from others and my own, and I also typed a list of supplies that I wanted to use, colors, alphabets, and numbers. And so I typed them, printed them out, cut them with a paper trimmer and scissors, and then adhered them to the card. So on one side of the card, which had the collaged gift wrapping, I added a theme and technique. And on the other side of the card, I added what supply, a color, shape, and a letter or number. Tip I have for you is using one of these three-tiered, three spaces tray from the dollar store, actually Dollar Tree, and I would clip the prompts and put the one side of the card, the prompts from one side of the card in one space and the prompts from the other side of the card in another space. Now here I'm showing you how I take some acrylic paint, water it down, and use a fan brush to add splatters of colors to the collage gift wrap collage sides of the cards, just to add some color. I decided not to add anything else to the back side except for the prompts that I glued on. Now, I glued the prompts to the front and to the back of the card, like I mentioned, and I finished all the edges with a gold marker. You can also use some gold colored paint if you're interested in having gold edges. Once all the cards were completely dry, I then laminated them with a very, very inexpensive laminating technique, which uses clear packing tape. Some packing tapes are clear and some are more yellow, and I chose some that was very clear. And all I did was lay the tape over the top of the card, smooth it down. I even used a little tool that we can use, or a brayer works fine. A credit card would work fine also to do the same thing. I just want to make sure that the tape is well adhered to the card and that there are no bubbles. So I do this to both sides of the card, and the packing tape is slightly narrower than the cards, but I don't really mind. These are for my use only. And now I have a whole box of these completed beautiful prompt cards to use in my creative making. I also have an extra box of about 150 cards that have been collaged on one side there, and they are finished on the others, but these are blank. I don't have any prompts on these yet because these are all the prompts I could think of or find for now. And so if I come up with any other prompt ideas for the future, I will have cards ready to be used. So how will I be using my cards? I think I'll be using them in a variety of ways. I might choose to just go in the box like this and randomly pick a card and read what's on here and see if I'm inspired to do something like this. Maybe I really don't know what I'm going to do. I just feel creative, and what's on the card is what I'll decide to do. Or I could be working on a project and be not too sure of what else I could do to that project to make it more interesting, and maybe the technique that's on the card will be my inspiration, or maybe the information that's on the back of the card, or the color or the letter or number that's on the back of the card will be my inspiration. So these can be interpreted in any way, and I hope that these will help me for those days when I feel like I need a little help, or I need a little extra inspiration. So I hope that you found this video interesting. I hope it has inspired you to think of different ways of looking for ideas and inspiration, and maybe even if you don't have a chance to make cards as elaborate as these ones, if you get some ideas, write them down. That's all I'd say to you. Write down your ideas on a piece of paper or in a notebook or whatever, so you have them to refer to on those days that you are wondering, what should I be doing? So thank you so much for watching. I hope you are inspired to get your craft on today. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Take care of yourself. And until next time, stay crafty. Bye.